Okay, we're doing problem in 2.5, number 42, and it's a coin problem. So in problem 42, they've given us a nice little chart to start off with. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that chart down here. And notice that they're going to ask us for the number of nickels, the number of dimes, and the number of quarters that we're going to need. So there's our number down over on the left. And then they're going to ask us, what's the value of those coins? Okay, so Mary Jo has $3.90 worth of nickels, dimes, and quarters. So she has a bunch of pocket change. The number of nickels is 3 more than the number of dimes. The number of quarters is 7 more than the number of dimes. How many of each coin does she have? And then they give us a hint and they say, let D equal the number of dimes. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to let D be the number of dimes. Then we're going to go back and figure out how many nickels do we have and how many quarters. So the number of nickels is 3 more than the number of dimes. So that means I'm going to add 3 to the number of dimes for my nickels. And then my quarters are 7 more than the number of dimes. So that means I'm going to add 7 to my number of dimes, or D plus 7. Okay, and then we need to get down into how much each of these is worth. So nickels are usually, well, not usually, they are 5 cents each, dimes are 10 cents each, and quarters are 25 cents each. From class, we realized that it was nicer to use 10 cents, or use the cents rather than using dollar form. So for every nickel, which is worth 5 cents, let me write that up above here. So this is 5 cents, this is 10 cents, and this is 25 cents. So if I know how many nickels I have, and I have D plus 3 nickels, I'm going to take each one of those nickels and multiply it by 5, because each nickel is worth 5 cents. So I'm going to take 5 and I'm going to multiply it by D plus 3. Number of nickels, 5 cents each. I'm going to take 10 and multiply it by D. Number of dimes, by 10 cents each. And I'm going to take 25 and multiply it by D plus 7. Number of quarters, 25 cents each. So this tells me how much in nickels I have, how much in dimes I have, and how much in quarters I have. If I add up all these amounts here, so if I add how much I'm going to have, how much money in nickels, with how much money I'm going to have in dimes, with how much money I have in quarters, it's going to have to equal all the pocket change that Mary Jo has, which is $3.90. Now we run into a problem. The $3.90 is in dollars, and my coins are in cents. So we need to change $3.90 all to cents. So how many pennies are in $3.90? 390 pennies. So there's your equation right there. So we're going to have to go ahead and use our distributive property, multiply 5 times D, 5 times 3. So 5D plus 15 plus 10D, plus use my distributive property again, 25D plus 25 times 7. And you can use your calculators if you need to. Should come out to 175. And then that's all going to be equal to 390. Now combine like terms. We have a 5D, a 10D, and a 25D. Looks like we have 40D. And then add up your constant terms, 15 plus 175. Then you end up with 190 equals 390. And now it's a matter of solving the equation. We're going to subtract 190 from both sides. When we do that, our 190 on the left cancels out, and we're left over with 40D equals 200. Then we're going to divide both sides by 40 to get the D by itself. And we end up with D equals 5. So what does that mean? What is D being representing? D is our number of dimes. So when we have D equal to 5, we have 5 dimes. So 5 dimes. We take D plus 3. Well, D is 5 plus 3 gives me 8, and that is my nickels. And then D plus 7, D being 5 again, plus 7 gives me 12 quarters. So that's all the problem asked for. It says to find the number of each coin. And we said there's going to be 5 dimes, 8 nickels, and 12 quarters. Now to check, we should take this answer and see how much money we would have. If we have 5 dimes, we're going to have 50 cents. If we have 8 nickels, we're going to have 40 cents. And if we have 12 quarters, I think we're going to have 300 cents or $3. So that adds up to 390 cents. And that checks. Whoops, I'm sorry, you haven't been able to see all this. So let's go through this again. Sorry, didn't notice that it wasn't showing up here. So we had canceled out our 190s. We came down to 40. D equals 200. Divided both sides by 40 so we could get rid of the coefficient. Solving for D, we had 200 divided by 40. We came up with 5 dimes. Or we came up with D was equal to 5. Went back up here. D is representing my dimes. So that's 5 dimes. Then I used D plus 3 to find out the number of nickels. D plus 7 to find out the number of quarters. And then this is where we went through our check. 5 dimes would be 50 cents. 8 nickels would be 40 cents. 12 quarters would be 300 cents. If you want to write everything in dollar signs, we would just have to make sure that we wrote it with a decimal point. Either way, you get the same answer. Just have to make sure you use a dollar sign instead of a cent sign.